What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com, The Hype, and we've got a juicy one for you guys. It's almost time for Christmas. Hopefully everybody's got their Christmas shopping done. If you haven't, this week, Prizm football drops. So you want to chase some big hits for Prizm. You can get in on break at Mojobreak.com. C-Rad's live right now. Also, we have M&E football, which is awesome. Tom Brady autos, Patrick Mahomes. Also, Triple Threads is back. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Beckett changed their name. We've got some error balls selling for $43,000. Lots of juicy topics. But I wanted to start off. Congrats to Bobby Witt. He got married this last weekend.
Congrats, Bobby.
And
Congrats.
Panini made a one-of-one card for him and his wife that was put on their table. And it's pretty cool.
Panini made it.
Panini made
Not
it.
Topps.
Because I think he's a Panini exclusive, yeah.
No, he's a Topps exclusive. Pretty sure he's a Topps
I
exclusive.
think Bobby Witt is. He's the only guy that's been in all the sets. But
you're right. You're right. I'm totally off. You're right. My bad. The guys, you know what?
Just be straight with me, though. Does it have logos on it?
Well, I was going to say, the comments. So is his marriage unlicensed? More unlicensed crap. Unlicensed jersey on their own wedding card. Real question, who is the first family friend to sell on eBay? Probably took 2 years to ship out. These would be an insane wedding invitation. That's good. Unfortunate if they get divorced. Yeah.
Everybody be nice. It's the holidays. Good Lord.
The internet's a wild, wild place.
I mean, Panini
man.
did post it, and they obviously were in attendance because.
So did everybody get one? Was it like
it's not very clear. It came in a nice box, and it looks like that's the 101.
That's pretty sick.
And then it has like a little, it looks like it's the black box. It has their wedding day and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought it was a nice touch.
That's very cool. And then, of course, you saw the.
I'd like one.
I think I saw it on Filth Bomb. They put it up. They had the pictures of all his groomsmen got a gift, and it was a slabbed card, custom card, with like a picture of Bobby with his groomsmen, and like some of them were like them as kids.
Really?
Some of them playing or like playing against each other. Really cool. And it's funny you say, yeah, you're right. The Panini exclusive thing, I almost forgot about it because all the cards are definitely Topps Series 1 cards.
Really?
That he uses. So come on now. Why didn't we use like a Panini? Why didn't we use Prizm? If you're, it's just something interesting.
If I'm not mistaken, I think, doesn't Prizm Baseball come out?
It does come out this week.
Friday, right?
It comes out Friday.
Woo!
Oh, yeah, it was a Topps card. So, wow. That's, yeah.
But the cards themselves, great idea.
Groomsman
Such
card.
a cool idea.
But PSA, because he's Bobby Witt, they slabbed it up
They're
and
all
they gave
tense.
it a 10.
They're all tense.
Yeah.
Who's
at my wedding, do you think they would do that for us? You think we get 10s? I've been married for over 10 years now, but
No, sorry, it's a 6.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, 6.5 if you're C-Rad, of course.
I think I one of my like little gift things was Topps Heritage Packs.
Hey,
So,
there you go.
sorry, everybody, I didn't get you custom cards of my face. I mean,
very, very cool idea. Very nice gesture. The guy loves this stuff. That's what's, I think, fun is like, he truly, truly loves all this stuff. So
yeah,
cool to
yeah,
see.
he is. He's becoming quite the ambassador. And
wonder if he was signing any of those Panini cards.
That would be that'd be just so.
If somebody just came up and they're all, I get a little autograph on this one.
Right. So wait, that's a custom 1-of-1? Like that's his. There's no other version of that card.
Not that unless they were on the table for everybody to have. There were different versions of it. But Panini posted it, and looks like it was just the gold vinyl 101. So nice gesture by Panini. I thought it was cool, but I mean, I'm sure they weren't too happy when they knew that the groomsmen cards were Topps. But
that's true
with their exclusive.
Also,
I mean, that's
gotta be. You're sure that the Panini he is exclusive?
Yeah, he is. You're right. He's not exclusive, but he has an agreement where he's the only active player that signs in Panini right now.
Yeah, because he was like in Flawless and National Treasures.
Because he shows up in all the top stuff too. So. He just loves it. He just loves it all.
And maybe that's what's cool about him.
He's like, you got a card manufacturer? I'll sign.
I'll sign.
Well, if he's a man of the hobby, maybe he wants it to be available in all avenues.
I think that's very much in line with the way he probably feels. Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, we have Mike Trout involved, and Bobby Witt being a lot younger. He hold the candle for a while, hold the torch for the baseball players. But yeah, Merry Christmas to you guys out there. Happy holidays, and we appreciate all you guys, all of our listeners. Hope you guys have a good holiday season with your family, your friends, whatever it may be. Anybody, have you shopped yet?
Yeah, I'm pretty much done.
Yeah.
You used to be the 25th guy, though, right?
Nah,
The 24th guy?
Okay.
Woo!
So I am I'm a man of face-to-face commerce, and I've eased up a little bit on that but I still went out and did some face-to-face. I talked to people. I was like, here's my money. You gave me the goods.
And you can still, I mean, you could do the face-to-face and online if you just do the online pickup. So you don't have to rummage through the store to find exactly what you need. You're like, that's the thing I need. Hit me up in about an hour. I'll see you soon. We'll have a nice talk. Hey, this is my thing.
I went to the
Good
mall
luck.
on Saturday, not to do any Christmas shopping, just to get have the kid visit Santa.
Oh, yeah.
And
Did he cry?
After
Usually the first couple
no,
times.
so we had a plan. We drew it up. So we basically just we backed him into Santa Claus without even him knowing it. So like we just were like sitting there holding him, and all of a sudden we're like, boom! All right, go do it. So we got like a couple good photos, and then about 35 seconds into it, he's like, "Who's this strange person?"
Right.
And I'm starting to get upset. Now I'm upset.
Yeah.
And then we basically.
I mean,
took
Santa
him out.
Claus is kind of, if you think about it, like the first time you see Santa, it's kind of intimidating. I mean,
No, yeah,
You know what I mean?
I get it. I will say, the mall that I went to, an hour to get a parking spot to get in,
Ooh.
and about 45 minutes to get out.
I think I know exactly the mall you went to. If we're
It is. It was a wow moment.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the type of year. I know you're a lot farther than me, but the Uber, it saves your sanity sometimes.
Oh,
You have
for
to
sure. Yeah, I was
Just
gonna
get
say,
dropped off right in front of the store.
Yeah,
given your proximity to the mall, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be the ideal
Or
situation.
I mean,
round trip would be
valet.
like
I don't know how.
$200.
$200.
It'd be
Oh,
$200
for you.
round
Nah,
trip,
maybe it's not
but-
worth it there.
No, definitely not.
But if you guys are looking for some last minute deals, we do have some doorbusters at mojobreakshop.com. We have some Star Wars Twilight of the Republic booster boxes, $60 off at $70. Chrome tennis for $84. So there's lots of good deals that you can check out at mojobreakshop.com. I got.
How do you carry all your stuff into an Uber?
That's true. I mean, you
Yeah.
make sure. Well, they all got trunks, right? I mean, they all have.
Get an XL.
Yeah, make sure you get an XL.
Get
if
it-
you
get-
a lot of
you
stuff.
gotta get the XL.
You have to physically carry this stuff in. Like you're not going to be able
Right.
to have somebody help you from Nordstrom's or wherever you're coming from.
Can you just follow me?
Montgomery Ward. What do we got? What do we got? in there?
Montgomery Ward. Goodness.
Sears.
Woolsworth.
Yeah. J.C. Penney. Well, it's still around.
There is like one J.C. Penney
I know,
around. I
Eastridge,
think.
yeah.
That's it
Yeah.
around here.
Yeah,
So
no,
Yeah,
I
I had to go pick up. I have to pick up some Levi's from there for a gift exchange for somebody.
Yeah,
Levi's.
I went to Mervin's. I got right in.
Mervin's. Well, yeah, the blue light special at Kmart's great this time of year.
Miller's Outpost or Anchor Blue.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
Oh man, good times.
But
Good fun
white elephant gifts are always fun to buy. I got a for the one that we're doing this weekend. I got one of those box bowling. Have you ever seen one of those?
A box bowling.
Yeah, you connect it to your head, and it's a ball, and it connects to your TV.
Oh.
And you have to hit it as many times as possible.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
a
it looks
video of
pretty
somebody
fun.
doing
I
that.
think I have seen some advertisements online,
Got
some
me.
targeted
Got
ads
me.
lately.
Yeah, got me.
Yeah, those have been interesting. Yeah.
That and the other crazy thing before we move back into sports cards. You know the brand Liquid Death, right?
Yeah, the water,
Mhm.
the water company.
Well, they came out with something sold out instantly, which I thought was a gag gift, but it's a real thing. It is the pit diaper. So it's a leather diaper that if you're at a concert, you know how hard it is to get in the front row. You got to be there for 8 hours.
No, dude.
You just gotta let it go.
no.
Look it up. Look it up.
Oh,
Pit diaper,
no.
dude. It's a real thing.
No.
Oh boy.
Sold out instantly.
No. Well, that is a gag gift.
That's a white elephant gift if I've ever seen one.
that is gnarly. That is absolutely gnarly. What was it? Pit what?
Pit diaper, $75, sold out.
Pit diaper. Yep, there it is. Liquid Death. Oh man. Holy mo. Okay, yeah, we got to get this
Is
on
that-
screen. Oh my God.
That's disposable, right?
Well, I don't know exactly how it works. Have
That
you guys
is wow. All right.
How much was that?
I swear-
$75.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
We are not brought to you by either of these companies that you're about to see, but I mean, you just got to see. Where this is for the viewers at home, just seeing this.
Oh, you
thing
put
right
the
now.
Depends in it.
goodness, that is something else. All right, that's enough of that.
But that would be a heck of a white elephant gift, right? If you got one. Look at that.
It would
Yeah.
absolutely get a huge laugh. It would get
I
a big laugh.
I mean the cross marketing, what they did, they just like literally poured liquid death water into it
to test
I
it out.
mean, whatever.
Hey, man, good on them. Someone got a nice bonus right there. That's a good idea. That was very smart, very clever.
Well, you got to give it a.
Why don't any of these people who are wearing this have pants on?
You got to show
Well,
it
because
off.
it's a leather thing, yeah.
You got to show it
Yeah,
off.
but you're gonna go to the concert with pants on.
No.
No, you gotta wear that.
Not at that point.
I don't think they're letting you in.
Not at that point.
But I got to give it up to Liquid Death. They're like a $2.4 billion company.
Yeah,
and,
Jeez.
and the guy just said he wanted to. He's like, I'm selling water. I remember seeing it for the first time. I was like, what is it? Liquid Death.
Right, and then you drink it, and you're just like, yeah, it's water.
It's just water.
It's just water.
In a can.
In a can.
Yeah.
They
What a
do
thought.
their flavored sparkling water is actually really good though.
Okay.
Okay.
And they got in. I remember going to the Shoreline, and that was the first time I seen it. So all Live Nation events, all of their water is Liquid Death now.
There it is, right there.
So yeah, it's and that makes sense why they're doing the Pit Viper because Live Nation concerts.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah, cool gag gifts. So Beckett's is now. Tell me about this. They have a new parent company. They just rebranded and they're named Collectivist.
So
Is that the Collectivist for the rest of us?
Yeah, a collectivist for the rest of us. Yeah, there you go. Shout out to the
Man,
Seinfeld episode.
They must have really workshopped that,
Yeah,
that name.
absolutely. So from everything I gather here, where it seemed like at first this is not. They were very adamant about like this is not an acquisition. This is a reorganization because yes, now they're really even putting more to the forefront that yes, Beckett, Southern Hobby, Dragon Shield, these are all sort of, we're not one company, but we are all benefiting from one another, and we'll all have synergy across the board. So,
You on the board?
this is, yeah, right. I definitely sound like I'm pitching this company, right?
Sounds like you're on the board. Did
What-
you come up with the name?
From what I
Hire
gathered,
this man.
this is like when Google said, we're Alphabet now. Like, okay, what does that mean? You're like, we're Alphabet. We're not only are we good. Not only do we have Google, we have all these other things as well. So, I think there's a clear. Obviously they need to do something to rebrand and to try to do something to get people to talk about them, to get people back on board. It's been a rough couple of years to say the least.
Now, is Beckett?
Beckett
Yes.
is still Beckett.
They're still
No,
Beckett.
It's Beckett's.
Yeah.
Beckett
But
is-
now CEO Kevin Isaacson is the CEO of Collectivist Holdings. So yeah, basically
that's my
overseeing.
dude. It's
Yeah.
my dude though.
I've known that guy for 12 years.
There you go.
No, since pretty much since we
2013.
started.
Yeah.
2013 Summit.
Felt like we knew him before that, but
Yeah.
maybe
Good guy.
maybe through like email or phone calls. I don't.
Yeah, he was the owner of the Industry Summits, which I believe got sold to Beckett at some point. So, which they don't mention that. Which I don't. Did we had an Industry Summit last year, right?
No.
No?
No, they it actually turned into a Beckett grading event.
Yeah, but there's still a summit. No.
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 So this is from Collect. Some of the quotes from Kevin Isaacson. We're thrilled. It's truly a new beginning. We enter 2025 with an incredible team of dedicated hobbyists, motivated investors, and dedicated customer base that appreciates our 100-plus year commitment to success across Beckett, Dragon Shield, and Southern Hobby. This is the result of a quote-unquote strategic plan and not an acquisition. Collectivist Holdings will be able to more adequately and more thoroughly invest in its brands that it currently has, as well as maybe see if there are more brands that can be brought under the Collectivist umbrella.
Say it with me. Collectivist.
Collectivist Holdings.
I mean, it comes right out. It comes right. It's right off the tongue.
It reminds me of a great quote from the great Mitch Hedberg. I can't tell you what hotel I'm staying at, but all I can say is that there are 2 trees involved. They said, let's call this something tree. So they had a meeting about it. It was quite short. How about tree? No, double tree. Hell yeah, meeting adjourned. I had my heart set on quadruple tree. Damn it, we're almost there. So that's how the collectivist meeting, right? How do we get collective? Yeah.
How do we get collectors to come to us?
I mean, the
Collective
other
us.
bit by Mitch Hedberg that was really good is the club sandwich one.
Yeah, with the frilly toothpicks.
Yeah.
Great guy. Yeah, great. Amazing comedian. Yeah,
One of a kind.
Definitely one of these moves where again, we said it's been a weird few years for them. I think this, when we had our State of the Hobby last week, didn't really talk a bunch about grading, but it is now the second straight year where they finished a pretty distant fourth now, even below, CGC and SGC and PSA obviously way out in front.
It's not even on the podium,
It's
man.
not even on the podium.
But what's crazy is
we
like
had a bit back in the day where I was trying to convince people that it was number one.
I remember
it was gold.
One of the very first things when I came here was that little skit that you guys did of like the presidential debate,
That's
but
one,
it was PSA and Beckett.
Yeah.
Yep.
And everyone was like, these are the two, and now it just is.
Did we do that in 2020?
That was 2020.
Didn't age well for me.
It is not. No.
Or Beckett or Collectivist.
No, and I don't know when you guys I don't know if there's anything you can pinpoint of like when did things just marketing was a huge part of it, and I would argue too. Remember the rollout for the multiple new grading scales
it was already,
at the Mint Collective.
No,
I know things were already going down, and it wasn't weighted.
The pandemic happened.
Yeah.
And everybody graded everything, and for whatever reason, it just PSA took over a lion's share of the marketplace, and it felt like it happened almost overnight.
Yeah.
It felt like within 6 months, it went from for years, for the first decade that we were doing this, it was modern cards went to Beckett.
Yep. Anything after 1980.
Anything that was vintage went to PSA. And that was the rule. And everybody went by that rule.
And some tobacco cards would go to SGC.
And some tobacco cards would go to SGC. And that was it. It felt like 6 months into the pandemic, it was like every single card that you send in, you need to send in to PSA because you're going to quadruple your money.
Well, it's funny because I'm bidding on a lot of cards. I've been using Fanatics Collect. I've been using eBay, but Fanatics Collect seems easier to navigate, and it seems like I'm getting pretty good deals. Not sponsored by them.
I was going to say you're getting a check.
You look at that era. You look at like if you're bidding on like even Zion's or 29 like Ronald Acuna's first Bowman's or it's all Beckett. So you're like they have it out there. Everybody's seeing these cards. Anybody that's involved in any NT RPA from like 2015 to 2020, they're Beckett. Like nobody sent thick cards to PSA. Like there's so many Beckett slabs that are in the marketplace. Like I don't know. Yeah, I mean the grading scale. I think that the pandemic happened. I think they were longer. They didn't have as many graders. I mean everybody was backed up, but like they were far backed up longer than everybody else. And
PSA they didn't. Beckett would give you a 9.5, and that was basically the equivalent of a PSA 10
at the time. No.
But now, in Beckett, you wouldn't. I mean, it would be almost impossible to get a BGS 10.
Yep.
Like that. That's like the white. It's a white whale, dude.
And
like,
when did black labels come into play? That might have been the death of them.
Yeah.
Because now you push the needle. So PSA 10 is the best card. There's no PSA black label. There's no PSA platinum label.
There's no PSA 10 plus.
Right. There's no. Yeah. I mean, they kept it that way, right? So people were getting the same ratio of 9.5s compared to 10s from PSA, but then you look at Beckett, and if you take the scale of the black label being the best one, then the 9.5 is now an 8.
Yeah. So
because PSA does have the half grades, but not really.
Do we think the downfall was the fact that they tried to they should have just had and I like the marketing aspect of having a black label.
Yeah.
I mean,
it always makes news whenever there's like, the first black label of some big card just surfaced. Like even now in the years where
it's actually the only thing they got at this point.
Right. It is.
It is the fact that you can get this black label, but you're right. It might have been the death of them. It might have been actually the death of them having that black label.
Yeah.
And now it's so like it's unachievable. But now when you see like, It was a couple months ago. It might have been a Jordan like rookie that surfaced. That was a black label. It was the only black label, Jordan.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
And people were starting to go nuts over that. It could have been the downfall. It's.
I mean, I did like their slabs, and then after a while, I'm like, I don't like the fact that the 8's silver, the gold, the 9.5's gold, the pristine's gold, and then the black label's black. So then if you go to 6's, they're like white. I didn't like that.
I got a question though. Hypothetically, let's bring up that Jordan, right? Money's not an issue. You have a choice between getting a PSA 10 Jordan or this black label Beckett Jordan. Which one are you going for?
I think right now I'm going for the PSA 10.
Because I get it.
Because I don't know if Beckett's going to be.
Beckett is it's volatile, right? You don't know where they're going to be, and if they no longer exist, then who cares if they said it was the most pristine card that they've ever seen?
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, I know there was, and I don't know who owns them now, but I know at one point when they got bought out by, I think his name was Sandeep. Sandeep was a guy that would take not necessarily dying, but like companies that he could get on the cheap and then just get rid of a bunch of people. To Ziggy's point in the chat, they kept like 5 people. So he like just got rid of staff to make a company that was probably in the like floating on the profit, like maybe like not making any profit, but like floating by. He wanted to like, let's just throw out a stupid number. Like say payroll was 500,000. He was like, we're gonna get payroll down to 200,000 because I want that 300,000 in my pocket every year based on forecasting, which might have hurt them as well.
I mean, I had some people at Beckett come to me and go, what do we do to gain some of our market share back? And the obvious was price and turnaround. You got to be faster than everybody else, and you're going to have to be cheaper than everybody else.
And they didn't really get involved with breakers.
And that is something that like no company, a for-profit company, wants to hear. Like, oh, okay, you're going to have to lose a bunch of money for a while, and you're going to have to put more resources, which you're actually going to end up losing more money in the long run.
It's literally the exact strategy SGC has basically done the last few years.
But I was like, that's the only way that you could basically gain market share back at this point, is that you're going to have to be faster and cheaper than everybody else and still hold the same quality that people loved 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago when you were basically neck and neck with PSA for the lead into market share.
Ziggy's got a good point in the chat too. This could be just structured for a Fanatics buyout.
That makes a lot of sense
as well.
Yep.
Because you get help with distribution, I guess, with Southern Hobby. You get the grading, I guess,
and tie your wagon to the biggest name. You know, the biggest name in sports collectibles, and yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, they Beckett started a podcast. Show us you're alive.
Yeah,
I mean that, and they didn't attach themselves to any wagon. PSA started attaching themselves to, like, with Golden, with eBay. Like they started getting involved in more things. I can't remember if is Beckett attached to anything. Like, can you get?
I mean, they've had in-store submission events.
Yeah, but they're not like working with somebody that has a lot of eyeballs on them, right? Like
we were contacted like maybe a year and a half ago to go down to their facility and potentially do a breaking event there, but it just didn't line up.
But also Fanatics has CGC, right? So I guess having more than one option. CGC may be more for gaming, and Beckett could be more for sports. I mean, it could work. When you think PSA, who comes to mind? I mean, probably the owner, Nat Turner,
Chris Carlin.
Chris Carlin. Well, yeah, I mean, for us, but
absolutely,
yeah. Dr. Beckett from Beckett, yeah.
Butter cake from Astros.
So what do you call those? The vodka drinks? The
vodka martini with a
martini.
Twist.
Yeah,
there you go.
Dirty martini. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
These
so we'll see.
Karaoke.
Yeah.
Some karaoke, some good karaoke.
But he's also ties to Upper Deck, so it's like hard for me to like blend the lines.
Right.
I know he's PSA for a while now, but
he's a man of the
shout out to Chris Carlin.
Needless to say, feels like a move that is sort of signaling that 2025 is a pretty pivotal year for the company and its future, and whatever that may be.
Have you guys seen any Beckett reels, any Beckett ads, any Beckett? I mean, I
Certainly
know
not as
the last time
prevalent.
I remember was the Fat Packs podcast. Like, I don't even know if I don't think Eric Norton even works for him anymore.
I don't believe so. Last time I heard, I think he was working with Panini.
Yeah, I think he is working with me. So, I mean, there's not a lot of marketing efforts being put place from Beckett when you have competitors. Well, let's move on.
Well, they're doing a great job because we spent the first 25 minutes of the podcast talking about it.
Yeah.
So, they got hooked up.
They did.
Yeah, hooked up.
Good marketing for him. This week of the hobby, most historic auctions for famous and infamous items. The Freddie Freeman World Series walk-off Grand Slam ball sells for $1.5 million.
$1.56
That's insane.
million is a
Who would pay that dumb amount?
You know what?
I
Go to
know.
a baseball game, leave a millionaire. Is what I'm going with.
This is one where I can say, too, this is a nice story. So I think it was in the LA Times about a day or two after the game. It was a 10-year-old kid, went with his mom and dad, got surprised, was told, you're going to the dentist today. We got to get you out of school early. Dad, he gets in the car with dad. Dad goes,
the old
two
root,
tickets.
the
We're
old,
meeting mom at 3 tickets. We're meeting mom at the World
the
Series.
old root canal.
Yep. Sorry, you're not getting a root canal. And then he got the ball. So good for him. Good for that fan.
And it's the
that's a cool
first
story.
World Series walk-off Grand Slam in history.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess that is worth it, but $1.5 million. I would
gonna
never have
crazy.
predicted that
But
much.
again, like getting these ridiculous price tags on home run balls. I know this is historic. Does that put a price tag on every home run ball going forward?
That's what I think. That it's completely like the
But-
record-breaking Bonds home run ball pales in comparison
I know.
to this.
But are we
It's
gonna
weird. It's
are we
crazy.
gonna start getting like fans that are gonna be like having this weird reality of every home run ball? They're like, I caught this home run ball from Willie Adames, his first San
His
Francisco
very
Giants,
first Giants one.
Giants home run.
Right.
I need to get at least $250,000 for it.
Right. I think it is going to skew people's perception of what these things can be worth at times. And you think that guy, what's his name, Zach Hampel? You think that guy's
He's a billionaire now.
What if you times that guy by 10 at every game you ever go to for the rest of your life? That is also the reality we may be facing right now.
I think that'll anger some people. I think he's not everybody's favorite
No,
person.
he may be. If you were to make a poll of most disliked baseball personality, I don't even think if you're not putting players in that equation, I think he might be your number one guy.
Yeah. One thing that's not on this list that I do want to bring up is that people are starting to get their 50-50 packs.
Yes.
And I think we ordered. I didn't know I was ordering packs. I ordered $250 5 times. So whatever I get for that, I'm assuming there's more than one pack for $250.
I thought the 250 was it got
I
you like
think
a box.
I think I saw the superfractor was
So-
already pulled.
Oh, so you
Yeah,
could
one of them.
get a pack for $25, and then there were the $250 options, which were 10 packs in a box.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
so I should be getting 50 packs.
Yes.
Okay.
That was quick math.
But yeah, I guess apparently the refractors are thicker. So people are saying, this is buyer beware to you guys on eBay, that a guy was weighing the packs on our friend Sports Card Nonsense's forum on Facebook, and I think one pack was like 0.35 and one was 0.46. So you can kind of easily tell if there's something valuable in them, from my understanding. So buyer beware if you're buying single packs on eBay. That may not be the way to go.
But are they in mags?
No, it's just like a 3 or 4 card pack.
Oh, gosh, I nearly had a heart attack watching the guy who pulled a superfractor auto out of there of one of the cards, snipping the pack off with the scissors.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, you were this close to just chopping off a piece of that
it's not a
from
thing.
doing a
I
little
haven't-
trimming on your card there.
I haven't seen that for a while.
It was like he's trying and was like, forget it, just cut it, and
He
then
didn't-
pulls
he
a one of one.
He didn't go in. He didn't go in with the teeth.
Didn't go in with the
The
teeth.
teeth I haven't seen for a while.
That did
either,
not
but
go
that-
in with the teeth. Yeah. Going back to the balls, I think the Freeman is a crazy number, but to me, what's even more indicative of like the crazy amount these game used balls or the balls in big moments are going for.
See if Dan can play guess that price on this one.
Aaron Judge, the error in Game 5 of the World Series, the fifth inning, that 5-run fifth inning.
Dropped it.
He drops the ball. It leads to that inning where the Dodgers tie the game and eventually go on to win the game in the World Series.
Okay.
How much do you think that ball sold for?
How did that ball end up in the crowd?
That's one thing. Well, I don't even know how it ended up anywhere, but apparently maybe the Dodgers were given that ball of like, that's what started everything, and then they sent it to an auction house, but it was auctioned off.
$211,000.
Okay, so not cool.
Well, I mean,
that would give me a heart attack.
Hey,
I know we started high with the 1.5.
I got to throw out some crazy. No, hey, whatever. $50,000.
$43,510 for. Yeah, that's just like.
Was that sold on Golden?
That's too much.
I'll
double check.
But I'm still like, I still don't know how that ball got into, somebody else's hands.
That's what's so, yeah. Everything about it is very strange. Like, did maybe a Yankees clubhouse guy grabbed it and was like, "Oh, here you go. Here's the ball."
How do you know?
I know.
I don't know.
That's it.
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Or
they are stamped in the World
Yeah.
Series.
Well, they are all stamped in the World Series. That is true. Or they all are marked with the imprint that says World Series on there. But yeah.
True.
Yeah, was it PSA authenticated?
Yeah.
So-
For what it's worth, it's not the most expensive error ball. Obviously, that still belongs to Bill Buckner, the one that went through his legs. $420,000. Owned by Mets owner Steve Cohen, which is fitting.
It's like a penny to him, half penny.
Oh yeah, but that one though
But how many
was also a game winner. Like that won the game.
How many times how many times have you seen that highlight
Right.
in your life?
A lot.
I don't think they're
Like-
gonna replay the Judge highlight like they're gonna play the Buckner.
Not in our lifetime. No.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Maybe when the Yankees are in the World Series again.
They will.
Be like,
Yeah,
hey,
they'll
remember
be
what
like
happened
this.
last
Yeah,
time,
almost half.
2024?
But you would see the Bill Buckner like every year you would see it. Like it would just.
Yeah.
I don't see it as much now as I felt like it was in the 90s, especially during the.
Especially after the Red Sox
after
won.
the Red
Yeah.
Sox won.
That's what it was.
But before the Red Sox,
It was like the curse.
It was.
Because they welcomed back Bill Buckner before he passed and finally gave him a nice hand and was like, "We're sorry for making your life hell."
Which he was like almost a career 300 hitter, right?
He was a very good ball player. He was never going to be like Hall of Fame, but he's like had a very nice career. And then, was only.
Yeah, I mean, he would have got probably $500 million if he was a free agent today's game.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's actually very funny to think about. What would Bill Buckner with his stats before that get? And how much would he be hated now if it was like, we pay this guy $28 million a year and he does that?
He wouldn't be able to go to spring training the next year.
No.
Well, and this next one's interesting because I actually took a picture with this at the National. And I knew it was going up in auction, Heritage Auctions. So the ruby red slippers from the original Wizard of Oz 1939 film sold at Heritage Auctions for $32 million.
Dude, I actually thought you were gonna say 32,000, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of a lot.
32 million.
30
But you said 32 million,
Yep.
and that is that's a lot more than 32,000.
Yeah.
Well, people say it is the Mickey Mantle of movie memorabilia. It's the most iconic film, the most iconic prop in the film.
This is something that I was like racking my brain about of like, what is a more iconic piece from a movie? What's a more iconic prop? What's a more iconic costume? It's really hard to think of any, honestly.
The plant in what was Little Shop of Horrors?
Oh man, that thing is
Oh,
awesome.
it
So
was an
cool.
animatronic. Yeah.
So cool. Yeah,
Well,
can I do my quick little fact I love about that? I love that movie. The plant was so big they couldn't film it in real time, so they actually had to like
Stop
speed
animation
they had to speed up the film. So it's moving. So when you're watching that movie, Rick Moranis, when he's in front of it, he's acting in slow motion while the plant is moving at
he's
in
like-
double speed. But it's like moving like because it's so heavy.
Is there anybody who's
very
done
cool.
it better than Rick Moranis?
What a great career.
Oh God, Honey, I Blew Up the Kids.
He
That's,
did-
that's one of my favorites.
Just went on a roll and then said, "Peace.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm out."
Still around too.
Yeah, good for him.
Actually, quick backstory about that too. So the guy that owned this got it stolen in 2009. The shoes stolen. I don't know how he recovered it, but he got them back in 2018. So he was without them for 9 years. Somebody stole them from him. So 2018, and then probably heard the news about Wicked coming out.
There's no place like home.
Right? So Wicked's coming out. You got to give it up to Heritage to drop this. Also, I believe the Wicked Witch of the West hat sold for like $4 million.
Yes.
Just the hat. And I actually have a picture with it. I put it on our Twitter like when the auction happened. I took a picture in front of it. I was like, this is cool. And because we were walking around filming stuff, and I was like, they actually had a photo booth for it. Like you could stand next to it, we'll take a picture. It was in the glass. Never thinking that. I mean, I'm thinking it's over $1 million, but I'm not thinking $32 million for that item, dude. That's crazy.
The only thing I could think that maybe tops it is like the original helmet used by like Darth Vader in the original Star Wars.
Maybe
something like that. Some sort of prop from yeah. from the Star Wars.
And that was James Earl Jones, correct?
He wasn't in the suit.
He wasn't in the suit.
Oh,
he was just the voice.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's about it. But even that is like kind of a big bulky thing, whereas like the slippers, nice, easy, presentable. Everybody sees it.
What about a lightsaber?
A lightsaber. That one would be up there.
What do you
too.
even display that? I mean, obviously it's a great conversation piece to have in your home if you're, a billionaire, but wouldn't you be worried about it being like you'd have to have like armed guards sitting there watching that thing?
You need to have that thing, and it's like laser beams around it and everything.
Better be a big fan of that movie.
I mean, I'd hope so. They're like, no, I got it because this is overrated. If it was a Mark Echo situation where I got the Bonds ball and put an asterisk
I got
on
these
it.
shoes. I just throw them in the back of the closet.
Yep.
And leave them in the box.
Well,
whatever.
and judging by all the injuries from makeup and all that stuff from that movie too, I'm actually surprised that these held up for almost 100 years now.
Production from hell in that movie.
Because I mean, back then they probably didn't even know. I mean, they were trying to be the first color movie, so they were like, "Well, we got to put paint on your face. We got to paint your whole body." And
it's like, "Oh, sorry, lead poisoning."
Yeah, exactly. So it's tough. All right, well, we got a big week of new releases, and highlighted by Prizm football and Triple Threads baseball, which Triple Threads hasn't been around for a couple years now.
3 years, 2021.
It felt like it was longer.
Was it 2022?
But it's only been gone for a year. We only skipped 1 year, 2023, and that's it.
Well, that's like a decade in the hobby.
Exactly. It feels like it's been a long time, and because of that, I think we were looking at the checklist. It might have been a couple episodes ago, or it might have been off air. But there are All-Star, specifically the All-Star game relics with autos and relics. There's about, I don't know, maybe 10% of those guys are not on those teams anymore.
Yeah, Jock Peterson has a Giants one.
I saw Andrew Benintendi has a Royals one. And
Jock Peterson
a lot of
made it to the All-Star game?
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to have one from each team.
2023. He did. He had a decent year then.
Good Giant.
No.
It was fine.
He was okay.
He had a very good year with Arizona last year. So.
Better Diamondback.
On the market again. He's probably going to do the same thing he always does. Go in 25 home runs and be a DH. And, anyway.
So, I mean, now it's a 10-box format as opposed to the prior years was 18 master with 2 9-box inners, making it an 18-box master. Now it's just a flat 10-box case. So, but you got similar packaging that they've had for the years. You've got your 4 hits. You got your crazy books, your triple autos, all that stuff. We did a preview you guys can see on our Instagram where we pulled a triple auto of Joe Carter, Dave Stewart, and Fred McGriff from the 93 Blue Jays team. So that was pretty cool. And there's a lot of stuff. There's Ohtani's on the Angels and the Dodgers. Lots of chase. We're breaking that actually right now on Fanatics Live as an early day preview. It's actually released nationally tomorrow on Thursday, which is the first Thursday release in the hobby that I can remember.
It's weird. I got a question for you. Remember the white whale?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What do you think of that? What do you think of the white whale when you think of that?
It's a printing plate.
It's a printing plate, right?
Yep.
Bubba did a break, and he pulled a triple auto, triple relic, and on the back it said white whale, and it was not a printing plate. It was just numbered to like 36 or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
They messed that up then.
I'm not going to say they messed it up. I'm just going to say me and you've been doing this long enough to where we know what the white whale stands for. It's the printing plate, which you'd get 1 per case. But
yeah, 1 per case. If it was a if it was a printing plate, because I think back in the day, like 20 years ago in the hobby, when they decided to put 101s in there, they're like, oh, it's a white whale, it's 101. There's only one of them in the world, right? So printing plates used to be a bigger deal.
Yeah,
than
this
they are now.
was like I want to say it was like a Jim Rice, 2 other guys on there, triple auto, but on the back, he had 2 of them because he was showing me. He had 2 triple auto, triple relics, and one on the back didn't say anything. And then the other one said White Will, and he's like, what does White Will mean? And I'm like,
That's interesting.
Generally, it's because it's a 1-on-1 printing plate.
That is really strange.
So,
And they
something to look out for.
held that in triple threads. It was never in anything else.
Yeah.
Because triple threads was the original back in 2010 when we started. Triple threads was the highest end box that they had. It was, you had Topps Chrome, you had Bowman Chrome, you had Bowman Draft, you had Topps Flagship, you had all that stuff. Triple threads was like, ooh, this is like high end. There's 4 hits. It was like the high end box.
It's triple threads football too.
Yeah, triple threads football was fun.
I'd love to see him come back.
Yeah, and that used to be in the triangular packaging.
Yep.
So, but I will have to say, being in this hobby for 15 years, I'm not a fan of printing plates. I hate that they're the same odds as like a red. I know it's cool to some people, but it's like you can halfway see the player. To throw autos on there. I think for me, it's like even worse.
I think it adds value. I don't think it subtracts value.
I wouldn't want to buy it if I'm a super collector of anybody. I don't want the printing plates. I know I have to get them, but it's like they just don't look good.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence too. Like a 1-of-1's still a 1-of-1, but at the same time, yeah, like it's got like little print lines in there, and it doesn't look great.
I mean, there's a history, and there's a reason.
But you're right. Absolutely. It's still a 1-of-1. And I will say this.
You guys are downers.
I will say this, too, for people who are like, hey, I can't afford the Super Fractor 1-of-1, but I can get like a printing plate 1-of-1, and I still can say I got a 1-of-1.
But you show that thing off there, it looks like a beat-up Pinto. You're like, look at my card. It's like a beat-up Pinto, dude. It literally is like the equivalent. Like, dude, the Super Fractor's the Lamborghini. Here's my Pinto.
Dude, when's the last time you saw a Pinto on the road?
Why? Yeah. When was the last time you pulled a nice printing plate?
If you hit it, am I thinking of this right? Is that the car if like you hit it from if you hit it from the back, like it would explode?
Yeah, supposedly.
But yeah, I mean, I think what happened too is when Panini started putting a printing plate in every box of National Treasures basketball, it just kind of because they would take all the printing plates from all the sets and they would go into National Treasures basketball, and it would be the printing plate on a thicker card.
Do you think that it just there was too many printing plate products? Like, I mean, there was also plates and patches.
Yeah. Yep. Plates and patches where they used printing plate. I think Leaf did a lot of plates.
There was a lot of standalone products I felt like that were plates. Like
just plates. Yeah. just plates. So triple threads, and then new Emanate football, which we had a pre-release on Monday. I think Dan might have destroyed the product.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty good checklist if you're looking for licensed autos of Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams. With the rookie insignia on it, it is the product to get into. Also, you have legends like Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Brock Purdy, Patrick Mahomes. You have John Elway. It's a loaded checklist of real fun products.
There's also Puka Nakua and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, those guys too.
Yeah, they are in there.
Yeah, I think they are.
I was gonna say you could go rookie. Well, actually, no. I was gonna say that. I'll save that for Prizm, or Rams rookie.
I mean, what do you think? I'm starting to warm up to the design because the baseball was like different in look, and it wasn't so color based. Like these ones, if you get a red, it's all red. If you get a gold, it's all gold. Like with the baseball, it had more of a border of the card.
I also feel that, and I don't know. I feel like the baseball might have been a thicker cardstock.
Hard to tell.
These actually, the football kind of seem
more like an 8x10.
More like an 8x10.
Yeah, yeah, but it's anybody you'd want's pretty much in there. So it's we'll be doing those all day at Mojobreak.com as well as Fanatics Live, and
but the value is definitely there.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at that checklist and it's pretty stacked.
Pretty stacked, and then Panini 1-and-1 basketball comes out Friday, and we'll have to see what those downtown Webinyamas are going to go for, right? So that's the place to get those.
Gosh, it's been, I've already kind of moved into like 23 or 24, 25 mode with basketball because I've like, I think we're done. I think we're pretty much close to done. We can close the book on the Wembanyama rookie year, but then it's like there's that. Also, you got Cosmic Chrome next week as well. Cosmic Chrome basketball. You got
National Treasures.
You got NT still. There's still a lot left on the 23.
I don't think Immaculates came out, right?
No. Yeah, it's we got some. We got some coming.
Yeah. And then supposedly their license is finished up this year. So for basketball. So, but I got a solicitation for 24-25 Prizm. And so it's like, are they going to be able to do all the 2024-25? Are they going to have a condensed release schedule for that?
I feel like Prizm is coming out earlier than it has in the past, which makes me think that there won't be a full slate of 24-25 releases. But that's just me saying I don't know for sure. I just feel that like Prizm didn't 23-24 Prizm just come out not too long ago?
I think it can't. When did it come out?
6 months? 8 months?
Yeah, I guess so.
Not that long. I feel like 3 months.
4 months. 8 days?
No, it's been longer than that, I think.
14 hours? Who knows?
We got to go back to when were we talking about the Wembanyama curtain behind him? When were we all saying that curtain? What's going on with that curtain behind him?
Maybe 8 months ago.
Yeah, it's been a while now.
8 months.
But you're right. It's a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just punt.
It was hard to get excited by the sell sheet that featured cover boys Reed Shepherd and Matas Bazelis. It was really hard to see that and get excited. I had flashbacks of Adam Morrison that year, being on the cover of Topps Chrome. I mean, it is Prizm. It doesn't matter. It's going to sell because there'll be, golds and finites and all that stuff.
And it's the last Prizm. It's the last officially licensed NBA Prizm. So,
I mean,
potentially.
I don't know.
Who knows?
But for now, I'm sure that's what people are going to look at. Of like, well, if this is my last chance to get that. So, and they got the one rookie who was making some noise now, also potentially out for the whole year. Jared McCain is now going to potentially miss most, if not the entire rest of the regular season.
Yeah, there'll be brawny cards, right? I mean,
there will be brawny.
Might have hold some value.
Probably not. Definitely not autos, right? That's that.
No, not autos at all.
No autos.
But they'll probably make some kind of brawny brawn card without.
Can they? I mean, it won't have autos, and they're on the same team, so it does make it
they'll definitely they'll have LeBron cards.
Maybe they'll do a dual logo man and flawless or NT or something.
That would be big. That would be big.
Prizm football is out, and the mangas look different. I've saw mixed reactions of the new mangas. Greg really likes them. YG on YouTube, on Mojobreak.com. A lot of people are saying they're a little busy. I think they actually put a little bit more thought into these ones. I mean, they've got the little kanji writing on the bottom.
I'm a fan. I'm a pretty big fan.
Have you seen him? And did you see Greg's?
Yeah, I saw. So I've been seeing a few pop up. I saw a couple on eBay. Saw the one that Joe Burrow one right there, and I was really liking it. I think I saw like a Blake Corum one where he's got like bear. He looks like a wolf running through,
like a Wolverine.
Like a Wolverine. There you go. Yeah, there's that. That would make sense.
Caleb,
there's the connection.
Cody, I think there's the connection.
Yeah, there's the connection. There's a Caleb Williams as like a bear. There's a Tyreek Hill where he's a cheetah. It's like they look really cool. And then I saw that CJ Stroud one that Greg pulled today. I was like,
and I'm assuming
for you know what? It's like, why are they making CJ Stroud looking so sexy on there? What's going on? Like, that's
I gotta see this.
It's kind of it's an interesting look. I put it up on our story.
I'm assuming the Burrow is Joe Cool, right? He's riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, he's gonna Joe Cool, but also
Joe Camel.
They're also the coolest.
The
coolest.
Best Joe.
Don't do it, kids. But I think they're really, really leaning into the anime style, the manga style. That's what I like. They're called mangas. Last year, they all were like Marvel. They were all kind of like knockoff superheroes, which I'm like, it's not superheroes. It's not comic books. You're calling it manga. So if you're going to do that, try to borrow the anime style. Yeah, that CJ Stroud.
It's like the Marlboro Man.
He kind of's got a little Marlboro Man there. Yeah, he's got a little Marlboro Man. I can't say it right.
Got a little Burt Reynolds in him.
That's the other thing too. If you've seen the iconic Burt Reynolds poster from the 70s, that's essentially the pose CJ Stroud is doing in that.
Seeing it,
it's interesting.
I got it framed in my living room.
So I'm a fan of them though. I think they look good. I think in the artwork is way better, I think, than it was last year. Last year, I thought, no disrespect to the artist, I thought it was a little on the cheaper side last year. I think this year's way better.
These are like short prints, right? Not case hits. You're not guaranteed one per case.
Yeah, yeah. Which I think they are a little tougher than this year to hit because I think they were popping up about one. Actually, last year they were probably. I think the year before they were popping up a little more.
Now, what do we think? I mean, Panini kind of gets a little bit of a win with Michael Penix Jr. starting this weekend. I mean, and the Falcons are in the hunt, so you could get a little bit of steam if he wins some games. What do you guys think as far as not just necessarily his cards, but what do you think about the decision to move on from a guy that you paid a lot of money to a rookie?
I think it's late. I think it's a bold move this late in the season when you're still in the hunt. Now, if they were a 3-win team and the season was over, yeah, let's see what you got in Michael Penix. But they're 1 win away from being in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they're 7-7.
I think they're 7-7.
They're 7-7,
and I think Tampa Bay's 8-6. Bold move. Pretty much, I guess that is the end of Kirk Cousins playing in Atlanta.
Did you know? Because I know he has not played well lately. He's been real tough.
He's had a tough month, I would say.
Last night was his first touchdown pass since November 3rd, or on Monday night, I should say.
Yeah, and it was
first
kind of
touchdown pass,
short one.
And in that run. No touchdowns, 1 interception. No touchdown, 1 interception. No touchdown, 4 interceptions. No touchdown, 2 interceptions, and then 1 on a few of those games.
I guess if you look at it like that, then they had no choice.
They really, yeah. It kind of felt, and that's where I think they're at, is that they didn't really have a choice. Like, I also don't think there's no coming back from this, right? No. This is it.
Like,
he's gone.
He's gone.
They have a Russell Wilson situation.
Well, it was funny because
he's a Niner.
I hope not.
Well, boy,
I'll give Brock Purdy $60 million. I don't care.
No, give him $60 million, but also while you're at it, just sign Kirk Cousins.
I mean, it will basically be for free because they're not going to have to eat any of that money out of it.
No, they said that they would have to. So I guess he's owed like $37 million. They would if they signed $23 million, the other team would have to take. So I don't think
no one's taking it.
That's why the Niners fans are saying, "Oh, tell Brock he's got to sign for $25 million because you can get Kirk for 23." But I mean, we're not comparing apples to apples here.
No.
But it was funny. I was watching that Monday night game, and I forget who was announcing, but they were like, the Falcons' offense was like, run the ball first and second down, right? Which sometimes Bijan would get a 30-yard run or whatever, right, and they'd get him in good field position. But what the downs when they were stopped, it'd be like 3rd and 8 or something, and he would throw a 3-yard out to Kyle Pitts. So they're like,
no, he didn't.
At the end of like the game, toward the game, they're like, it's almost predictable that you're just going to go to Kyle Pitts, you're going to punt.
No, he doesn't go to Kyle Pitts at all.
Well, it must have happened enough times that the announcer's like,
yeah,
because he wasn't throwing down, like nobody was open downfield, so it was a check down to the tight end every single time.
He must have had. Kyle Pitts had like 30 yards.
Yeah, because it was like 8 3-yard outs. So and then they would punt it.
He had 112 passing yards on Monday. 112.
What was Kyle Pitts' stats?
I gotta take a look at that here. Actually, I think I can look at the game log
He had I would say 4 catches for
35
yards.
Let's take a look.
Tell me you have Kyle Pitts on your fantasy team without telling me you have Kyle Pitts on your fantasy team.
You started him this week against me?
Here you go.
I have to.
4 receptions
for 30-something yards.
28 yards.
So they were all 5- and 6-yard out routes, and they would punt.
Yep.
Dude got me 2 points, bro.
Well, now you're going to start him, and you're going to Penix. He's going to have like 50 points.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Hope he has a game of his career.
It's going to be my luck that you give 60 points.
I hope so. With that attitude.
To the whole like the Falcons have like a real shot at making the playoffs. They do, but like realistically, how far does this team get?
But my thing is
they have a top 5 running back in the league.
They do,
say.
but like if they get in the playoffs with Mike Penix, and that's why I say take the chance with Mike Penix because you know exactly what you're getting with Kirk Cousins. Maybe you get in the playoffs at 9-8 with Kirk Cousins, but that is all you're doing. Maybe you get in the playoffs at 9-8 with Mike Penix, but maybe the offense looks way better in those 2
Well,
games.
you have the running threat too,
right? And you have so maybe it's also too late in the season to know if that's going to happen. It's 3 games, and let
me ask you guys, let's put your hobby hat on. If you have a couple, like you were investing in Mike Penix, and you have, there's been some good releases like Mosaic, Prizm's out today, and you have some low-numbered Prizms, low-numbered Mosaics, some autos. Are you selling on the hype this week right now?
No,
or
I'm waiting.
Waiting?
I'm waiting. Well, They're going against the Giants, I believe, this week.
I have to double check, but I think
And
you are right.
Yes, they are.
I would say the Falcons should win that game.
Two of their here's their last three games.
I already looked it up. So they have the Giants, they have the Commanders, and then they close out with the
Panthers. And Giants and Panthers are at home. So that's, I mean.
And Commanders will still have to play at that point.
Commanders is not going to be easy, and they're in Washington. But that's minimum 2-1 to end the season.
Should be. I mean, they barely beat the Raiders.
If all goes well. And if Penix can put something together. All of this to say, too.
If Penix has a really good game and they win against the Giants, I may sell after that game.
Yeah, I would, too.
I probably wouldn't bank on him having a great game against the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
And I think by the time the Panthers game, the hype has pretty much died down. And if you're gonna hold that long, you might as well hold until the beginning of next season.
Because this offseason, Penix is going to be what Jordan Love was going into his very first season, where everybody remembers again, like, oh yeah, that guy's gonna start, isn't he? All right, I should probably buy him. So I think that's gonna be the other trend as we see in the offseason.
Well, I mean, Niner fans or fans of mediocre quarterback teams. Not saying Purdy is a mediocre team. The Falcons are like, hold my beer. They drafted Desmond Ridder in 2022. He's now in the Raiders. And then you just spent all this money on Kirk Cousins, and he's not playing. So your future, like, you could potentially have 3 quarterbacks in 4 years. And if Mike Penix isn't the guy, what do you do? You're back to the drawing board again. You're wasting Bijan. You're wasting prime Bijan. You're wasting these guys. And that sucks. That's a carousel of quarterbacks. I mean, that's
they have not figured it out since Matt Ryan left, basically.
Is Matt Ryan the greatest Falcon quarterback of all time?
Mike Vick?
Yeah, I was going to say it really depends how you feel about Mike Vick and his, like, I think statistically, yes,
the new college football coach.
That's right. Not Sacramento State, by the way.
Oh, is it? No, it's
Norfolk State.
Norfolk State.
Everyone thought it's going to be Sacramento State, and it was not. No, I think it's Matt Ryan.
It's probably Matt Ryan.
Was it Steve Barkowski?
Who's the more fun one? Obviously, Mike Vick. Yeah. Vick was a way more fun, dynamic player, but yeah, Matty Ice.
I mean, they've had Chris Chandler. Chris Chandler was a good.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that became a Raider quarterback as well?
Jeff George.
That guy. There was also he was there with Matt Schaub.
Oh yeah,
Matt Schaub became a Raider.
Matt Schaub.
Well, it's like the Raiders and Falcons. They just like switch them around.
It's funny how how quickly everything changes too. Where like the draft, everyone was scratching their heads about Mike Penix. Why would the Falcons do this? Now, beyond even the Kirk Cousins question, I think a lot of people felt like Mike Penix wasn't a first rounder anymore, that he was a second rounder, or potentially even late second rounder, and for them to reach for him at what? It was like the 8th pick, and now how everything is like.
Was he the Heisman winner?
No, he was not. But he went. Yeah, he went far.
Who won the Heisman that year?
That would have been
Caleb?
Jaden.
Jaden, that's right.
Jaden Daniels.
I keep 2022 draft class for rookie quarterbacks.
Oh, it's tough.
I mean, Purdy still is by far the best out of the bunch, but
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett.
He's on the Eagles now.
Yep, Kenny Pickett.
Malik Willis.
He's on Green Bay.
Yep.
Neither starting.
Nope.
But yes, they have a locker and a jersey and a helmet and everything. Desmond Ridder.
Yep.
Matt Corral.
Sam Howell.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Who came in and looked terrible.
Oh yeah.
What could we literally say the worst quarterback class in
21 and 22 is a real bad stretch.
But 22 is a special kind of like
bad.
Yeah, but if you compare 21 and 22, you got to say Brock Purdy.
Right
maybe
now?
T-Law. Maybe Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, at least Trevor Lawrence
has had some
has had like glimpses of he could be a top quarterback in the league. Maybe.
There were moments where we thought, wow, Mac Jones might be a guy. Wow, Trevor Lawrence looks like he's a guy. Like, there were moments. Whereas 2022, it's been Brock and nothing else.
Well, and that's what's crazy about the NFL because they changed the salary cap thing, and I think it was 2011. because you guys were the last one. You had Sam Bradford. You have $60 million. You're keeping him. You're keeping him for 4 years, regardless of what he does, because you're paying him so much money. You hope he works out. But now it's like $3 or $4, $5 million, or whatever for these first round guys. They're just like, all right, it didn't work out. Next year, we're gonna get somebody else.
If that draft happens, if they're able to redo that draft again, Brock Purdy probably goes number 1.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
The guy who was drafted last
Goes number 1.
literally goes number 1.
But are we not letting these guys develop? Because John
Exactly.
in the chat mentions Matt Stafford, which
I could talk about Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford's great, won a Super Bowl with the Rams. How many losing seasons did he have on the Lions? If Matt Stafford was drafted in 2021, the Rams would have moved on, or the Lions would have probably moved on 2 years later. He would have been on another team.
He was putting up some really good stats, though.
But the Lions didn't even make the playoffs.
Well, there was 1 year.
And he was there for like 9 years.
There's a couple of years they went with him. Before that, the gold standard of Lions football was the Matt Stafford, Calvin Johnson
That was
years.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, now, I mean, things have changed. But
I do think that the year before Stafford got there, the Lions went winless.
yes.
That's how they got the first overall pick. They did not win a game.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, in 16.
Yeah, because that was that 08?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Stafford, was it Stafford and Flacco that year? Or was it Mark Sanchez?
No, it was 09. Stafford was 09 because
So that was Flacco
because
too, I think.
Bradford was 10.
Right.
But yeah, that's.
John, it is a great time to be a Rams fan.
Yeah,
Not a Niner fan.
No.
I mean,
we had our time.
let's go out. Let's go out there. Let's take care of business against the Jets, and yeah, I mean, we'll see. We're getting hot at
Should
the
happen.
right. Yeah, well, you never know. But getting hot at the right time, and not saying we're going to be going to New Orleans and hosting Lombardi Trophy, but we're on the right track.
We'll get a couple extra football games minimum.
He mentioned to me off the air when we were talking earlier, this trap game, and I just realized, for one, Netflix documentary, Aaron Rodgers, ayahuasca. I mean, he's he's going to win out the rest of the season.
Hopefully, he's
dude.
doing a lot of that before the game on Sunday. Like, maybe in the locker room before, a little pregame.
Pre-game ayahuasca.
Pre-game ayahuasca.
He's going to think he's throwing at Antonio
Well,
Freeman.
they're going to need
still.
a lot of help there in the Jets, so it's been a nightmare season.
It could be a trap game, and then
Yeah,
I mean the Jets did look good last week.
they did. They did.
And who'd they beat? The Dolphins?
I think they beat Miami.
Yeah, it was close. I know it went to overtime, didn't it?
No, that was a few weeks ago. They lost in overtime, I thought.
Oh,
was
yeah,
2
yeah,
weeks
yeah,
ago.
it was 2 weeks
That was
ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, who'd they play? They played like the Titans. I can't
I
remember.
believe it was.
I don't know. Whoever it was,
They won a game.
Devontae Adams looked really good.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers looked really good.
You got one. Good for you.
They got one.
Brees Hall, I think, got in the end zone too.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, I mean, we got plenty of Prizm breaks over at Mojobreak.com. Cases, boxes, mixers with Emanate. So join in on those breaks, as well as Fanatics Live. We've got triple threads tonight if you're listening to this live. If not, triple threads will be available on Mojobreak.com tomorrow, all throughout the weekend. So chase those big hits in triple threads. Graphite tennis we're breaking. I mean, Bowman draft. I mean, you name it. There's so many releases in time for the Christmas season to get into and chase some big hits. And also, MojobreakShop.com has some great doorbuster sales for boxes, hobby boxes that we want to get rid of. So take advantage of that. And we'll see you guys next week on The Hype. Peace.